Back in 2011, we tore out a beaver dam where the beavers had flooded several acres and killed a lot of mature trees. The whole scene you see in front of us that's in the foreground of the tall trees is the area that they killed. We did some major landscaping as we tore out the dam. We filled in as much of the beaver dug pond area as we could find fill for. That was in 2011. Then in the fall of 2012, I decided to place this 18-inch culvert that you see dead ahead of you there at the location of the previous primary dam. I did this so that I would have easy tractor access to the woods to the left or the west of the reconstructed area. Things were looking pretty good as we went into winter. I chronicled all of those cleaning up events in a series of YouTube videos that are already on my YouTube channel. We had lots of snow in the winter of 2014 and 2015, and then the spring of 2015 was one of the wettest on record. So as things warmed up, we had a lot of ice chunks floating down the creek, and some of them plugged the north end of the culvert. Water overflowed the culvert and almost washed all of our earthwork away. So in 2015, which was last year, I was back at it again. One of the problems with reconstructing the area is that each time we tear out a dam and try to re-landscape the place, we lose some topsoil, or some soil, not just topsoil. So there's less material around to build the place back to its previous shape. So this time I decided to take material from the creek, making this little pond actually here, and use it to fill in areas to the right over here that had really lost a lot of material, and I needed more material to reinstall the culvert. This is the size of the creek most of the way down. So here you can see the size of the little pond that I built, borrowing material from this edge here to do all that filling in. I got the place looking pretty good by fall and then seeded it down very heavily, hoping that the new grass would create enough sod to keep my new soil in place. The grass did get a pretty good start, as you can see, before the weather turned cold. Fortunately, the spring thaw didn't create any new problems, so the area looks pretty good right now, April of 2016. Since the place is looking pretty good right now, and we never know when the beavers are going to return, I've promised myself to at least check once a month to see if any new beaver activity is starting to occur. As I move forward here and look across the culvert, and look into our west woods, where now I have a straight shot with a tractor to go over into that 20-25 acres where the woods and do forestry type work. Well, here's my next beaver problem in the making. This pond, or what's left of it, is about 5/8 of a mile upstream from my problem area. The county road workers have supposedly trapped the beavers out of it and drained it late last fall. This spring they came back. The county drained it again a couple of weeks ago, but where are the beavers now? And where did they come from in the beginning? And when will they return, if they are still around here someplace? Well, if they do come back, or they move deeper into this woods and they have babies, where will those kits go when mom and dad throw them out? So I'd better keep my promise to myself to check for beavers on a regular basis at our place so I can get them before they get me. The interesting thing about this particular beaver pond is that the water's all coming through this culvert right here. And that culvert just goes to the other side of the road where there's a forest. And then at the edge of this forest, the farmer over there removed the rest of the forest a couple of years ago, and there's a small spring that just kind of springs out of the ground halfway up the hill there. And it doesn't run every year all the time. So my biggest concern is that if we don't have a wet year and that spring dries up, well, this pond is certainly going to dry up. Right now it's 99% drained, I might add. But it's going to dry up, and then those beavers are going to have to move someplace else. And that's when it's most likely that they are likely to move downstream and take up residence that way at my house.